Hello, and thank you so much for coming here today. I'm so happy to see so many people I know. I didn't expect really, so it's a great pleasure to play for you today. And the music we will perform is basically composed by me, but some of the pieces are based on ancient Ukrainian melodies. So I call it part of the program Ukrainian Fantasy because my little dream was to introduce Ukrainian culture to the world. And because I am like a film composer mostly, I decided to make kind of music like a soundtrack. So the first piece we will play today with these incredible musicians is a Ukrainian lullaby called Quartet, or in English, The Grey Cat. So you can imagine Carpathian Mountains, night, starry sky, and her mother is trying to lull her child to sleep, like this motifs, and also my child was falling asleep, like a world of dreams, and music is getting bigger and bigger, and then sunrise. called In the Cherry Orchard, or Holovchenko Sadku. And that was very popular wedding song when all people are drunk. And there is like lonely male voice. Ой, гусь небо мусе. And it's so fun because I remember that from my childhood when I was running between all the things on the way. Yes, so basically this is the next song. I just would like to check the tune, if it's possible. Yes. Called Holovchenko, and it's a very famous children's song, which we decided also to arrange in a bit cinematic style, and I combine it with Carpathian motifs, especially like Carpathian dancing motifs, which you will hear in the middle part, and also you can imagine Carpathian mountains from the draw, closer to the end of the piece, where there will be a lot of space and arpeggios. So here we are, yeah. One of the reasons why we play so many lullabies today is because Ukrainian culture was being destroyed, if I say it correctly in English, for centuries. And the only way to keep it was by the word of mouth. So basically, when no one could see, was singing a lullaby to a child, it was one of the ways to save these melodies. That's why mostly we have lullabies saved. And the next one called The Dream is Coming, or Sleepwalks the Land. And you can also imagine this starry night and how mother is showing some creatures behind the window that are hidden in the forest, like mavkas or chuhaistras, like Ukrainian ethnical creatures. And yeah, here we are. Also, I would like to say that it's very I don't know even how to describe this emotion. It's very emotional to be play here today because I love charity events because you never know with who you will be on the stage, and I'm so grateful that I have an opportunity to play with such talented musicians because basically it's our first performance together. Like in the so it's a great honor. Next piece is based on one of the most ancient Ukrainian melody. We used to call this spring, called Baily Ivanko. Basically, all the people from the village, they came to the highest point in the village because they needed to call the spring. So they were trying to be as loud as possible to wake up the weather, basically screaming, shouting. And you don't hear such kind of loud music in the middle part. So let's start from little drops of the water because snow is melting and then it's growing and growing and growing. First sun is coming, so let's call something good for our life. Next piece is not based on Ukrainian melodies, but I really like it, so I made it when I imagined something like flying in the clouds, something beautiful, like there was one bird in Harry Potter, and you will love this bird, I don't know name in English, and I just imagined such scenes, basically starting from long chords, and after that we are flying up, 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 and then we are in the sky. So hopefully, yeah, and just such emotional to play today as well because it's we are in total contact, to be able to catch each other. So it's very, very cool and. The next piece is based also on one of Ukrainian melodies, so it's called Holovchenko, and the piece is very precious, especially to me, because in 2014, when the first invasion happened in Ukraine, it was combined with the revolution of dignity called Maidan, and it happened that a lot of people just wanted to move to Europe, but our pro-Russian government wasn't happy with that, so they just started to shoot us. And a lot of people were killed, people like us, students, teachers, I don't know, drivers, gardeners, let's just imagine like, normal people like me and you. And there was very, very big funeral ceremony when thousands of people came to appreciate the memory of people who were killed. And you can imagine thousands of people singing together this melody, Holovchenko. And if it's possible, I ask to make the light a bit warmer, maybe a bit darker, if it's okay. It would be incredible. So this song is like a memory of the people who have passed away during people who are supposed to live, who are supposed to have children, smile. Life is a bit different. Thank you so much. So time is flying, and now we are going to play our two last pieces for today. So the first one, now I will play a solo. That piece was written for a performance in America for United Nations. So basically, because I was given, let's say, sometimes when you are on political conferences or so, they don't really like when you speak about the war, killing children, etc. So they just asked me, like, Mariia, you will be able to speak through the music. So if you are able to compose some pieces where you can describe the emotions, what are you going through every day, it would be amazing. So I composed 3 pieces, and this is one of them, and it's called Memories About the Future. So I delayed my life for so long because I was busy, like I needed a career, needed a car, needed a house, as all of us. And then I can, for example, visit some places or have a rest or so. And in one day I woken up to the air raid fires, bombings, and everything I was building for so long time was destroyed, just like this. And then I just realized that, oh my gosh, people who I wanted to spend time with, they are not alive anymore. Because one of the girl, Victoria Olena, maybe somebody knows, she's a writer. We performed with her together in Ireland just a few weeks after she was killed in Pshenychna in Kramatorsk. And she was incredibly talented. And so many of my friends and people who I really admire and love, they're not with us anymore. And also places I wanted to visit, it was destroyed from it's impossible to visit them anymore. So this piece is like a memories about the future that would never happen, but also it's like a reminder to appreciate every minute, every second we have in this life, because we don't know what will be the next day. So it starts from chords like it's a broken mirror. After that, it's coming like a way to a nostalgia about the childhood and something you wanted to do. And then to the bigger waves about regret, like why I didn't do it before, because I can't change it. And this piece is full of ways about acceptation and regret and pain, but at the same time, despite the war and explosions, you wake up or you even don't sleep. As yesterday, I was supporting my friends who were under attack in Kyiv. And you see beautiful flowers around because everything is blooming, it's summer. And you just can't believe why all these things exist on this planet at the same time. So when you hear this piece, try to think about some of those memories from your life, some people who you loved who maybe are not with you anymore, and just try to remember something nice. was the last piece. Let me see. Yes. Yes, a lot of people ask me, Mariia, you're a composer, we should know it by heart. No. I just wrote it and I forgot the next day what exactly. So the last piece is, of course, Ukrainian anthem. When the war started, and I couldn't compose at all because I saw that music is not needed anymore. This actually was the first piece I wrote after I had been changed. And I just, Ukrainian anthem is very big and very glorious, but for me, Ukraine was wounded, was very tender, so I just created that version that is very, very gentle, and it starts like a little spark in the darkness, but step by step, it's growing and growing in its confidence. And also, if this is like an author version, but if you recognize the place where you can sing along with us, like Dushatilo Vokolozhin, for example, you will hear that piece very clearly. You are welcome, because it's amazing if we can sing it together as well.